Yeah, good morning, everyone. So, yesterday we learned about number type. Anyone tried that BMI calculator? Hmm? Anyone successfully done? Submitted? You submitted in classroom? Anyone done? I asked you to try one example. What is BMI calculator? Yes, few people submitted. Code. Okay, I will check today. You all people submitted. Everyone able to achieve that? Okay, good. I will check all these designs today, Right, we will see. So this example we learned related to number type, how to handle number types. Next, in the data types, we have a string type. So JavaScript string type. So we are learning about JavaScript data types. In data types, we have a string type. Actually, string is nothing but string is a literal with a group of characters enclosed in one is double quote or single quote or backtick. Backtick is new from JavaScript ES5 and higher version. From JavaScript 5 and higher versions, we use backticks for string. What is difference? I will tell you. How to write a string in JavaScript. So string is a literal. Literal means what? Literal means group of characters. Group of characters means it can be alphabet or number or special characters. We can enclose them in double quote, single quote or backtick. Then what is difference is actually, suppose we are writing, so var name is equal to John. That is var name is equal to single quote John. And var name is equal to backtick John. All three are strings only. Then what is difference between them? All are strings. One is double quote, another single quote, another backtick. Backtick is actually present on tilde key. You have a tilde key. On that key, you have backtick. You will find backtick there. So what is difference is actually single and double quotes. Double quotes can be used for wrapping. We can wrap outer and inner string. Can be used for wrapping outer and inner string. We can use single or double quotes in order to wrap outer and inner strings. What is that actually is? Generally, outer string, inner string is nothing but, for example, we have path. Suppose path. So we are writing or path or link. I am writing anchor. So this is a link. Actually, anchor have href. Href is equal to, again, I cannot use double quote. If outer string is in double quote, then inner string must be in single quote. In single quote, we have to write home.html. Some text. Text is written like this. You can use vice versa. That means, suppose your link is outer string is single quote, anchor, href is equal to, now again you cannot use single quote, then you can use double quote. If outer string is in double quote, inner string will be in single. If inner string is in outer string is in single quote, inner string will be in double. Switch, we can switch between them. Again, you cannot have single quote here. You have to use a double quote. What is it? Home.html close. Some home and anchor close. That's how we need to define single quote. That's how we need to configure the links, right? We can define the link in single quote or we can define the link in double quote. That is single and double quotes. How do we manage? So important is what is backtick then? Actually, let's run this and see. Suppose we are having some string So in this, we are writing a string. Let's add a new file string.html. And here we are defining a simple script. And where link is equal to, in the double quotes, anchor href is equal to, again single quote, home.html. Like this, we can define home and anchor close. This is one way. I am printing document.write link. That means a link is created here. You can see we have a link. So that is the link we have. However, if it is having home, it will work. Otherwise, it will not. But here link is created by using this. Suppose you write in single quote outside. Outer string is in single quote. Then inner string cannot be in single quote again. Inner string must be in double quote. We can write like this. You can switch between inner and outer strings. So outer string in double, inner string in single. If inner string is outer string is single quote, inner string will be in double. That is single quote and double quote. Then what is backtick? Actually, backtick is new in ES5. It is new in JavaScript version ES5. What is advantage is it is used to create a string. So with the embedded binding expression. embedded binding expression, embedded binding expression. And very important, so data binding expression in JavaScript is, it is dollar curly brace. That is the data binding expression. Data binding expression in JavaScript is this curly brace. So this is usually by using backtick you can manage. Remember here, data binding expression is not allowed in a double or single quote. It is not allowed in double or single quote. It is allowed only in backtick. What does that means? I will show you what is binding expression, how to use them. Let's see. I will write here. I am writing here a variable username, and username is some John, and age is equal to 22. Now we want to print one message. Message is, hello John, you will be 23 next year. Like that we need to define. That means first we are designing a message one. I am using a string double quote. In that double quote or single quote? In double quote, first I need to print the word hello. Then I am using hello. Okay. After that, I need to attach this variable. Then how to attach a variable? We have to use a plus. Concat. Concat, what it is? Username. After that, again string continuous. Then again plus. Here we have to write you will be. After that, again plus. Age plus 1. We need to do some calculation. So age plus 1. And after that, that is plus again next year. We have to type next year. This is how we write a string in general. That is how a string is written. So string requires lot of concatenations. Lot of concatenations, lot of plus operators. So this is data binding actually. Data binding means accessing data from a dynamic place. Dynamic place means from where it is changing. Accessing data from dynamic and attaching to string. For that we need lot of concatenation plus. Now still it is not finished. You see what happens now. Document.write MSG1. Now you can see still it is not done. See, there is no correct space. After hello, I want plus space. After John, I want some space. We need to add some space. If we need to add space before and after, then again after hello, usually, actually here I can put space, but that is not good because the space after the word or before the word, they are called leading spaces. Leading spaces. Leading spaces means the space before and after. These leading spaces are deleted so many times. That is the reason you can't write the spaces. How to delete them, I will show you. Next point, you will see that. In that case, you cannot write like this. That's not good. Then what we have to do is, we have to add a space manually, like plus, and we need to put a empty parenthesis, empty quotes. This is blank space. After username, again blank space. After you will be, again blank space. After age, again blank space. Now you can see it looks better. It will have good space, right? Like this, representing a string is very risky, very lengthy. Now in JavaScript latest, you have a special option for that, that is backtick. That means what you can do here is we can simply write like this now, var msg2, I will use message 2. At the end of first message, we will put br. Br will put a break. Okay, here in message 2, I am using backtick. This is backtick. What is advantage of string in backtick is just write the string hello, and after that, if you want to put any dynamic value, then you don't need plus now. Just dollar curly brace. That is binding expression. Now here dynamic value, the value is what? Username. After that, again continue your string. Continue your string. So you will be again dynamic expression age plus 1 next year. This is so simple. This is very simple. That means we have the username. It is binded with this value. Username is binded with the value. And when username is binded with the value, what is the binding expression here? Dollar curly brace. By using that binding expression, we can bind the values. Now, once the value is binded, that means remember, this is not allowed in double quotes or in single quote. That is allowed only in when you are using backtick. Only in backtick it is allowed. We cannot put that in single quote or double quote. Now you can see that this is message 2. Let's print message 2. Document.write message 2. Second message we are printing. And message 2 also looks exactly same. But this time the string is very simple. We don't need lot of concatenations, plus here, plus there. Just we can use a simple binding expression like this. So we have just string started with backtick, and wherever inside the string you want dynamic value, just put a dollar curly brace. This is the binding expressions. This makes the strings more simple. This is not allowed in single quote or double quote. For example, see here, suppose we replace this with single quote. Because sometimes people are confused about single and backtick. They think that they are using backtick, but actually they are using single quote because it looks almost similar, right? But in this single quote, so that binding expression will not work. Binding expression will work only in backtick. So make sure that you are using a backtick here. And backtick allows you to represent a string with dynamic expression. So in JavaScript, how a string can be written? It can be written in 3 ways, using double quote, single quote, backtick. What is the difference? Single and double quote can be used to represent outer and inner strings. But backtick allows you to put a string with expression. And the binding expressions are written by using dollar. That means it is not allowed in single and double quotes. Syntactically, you are using a backtick, your string, and dollar, and some expression. And after that, again your string can continue and backtick. So that is how we can handle. That is the basic how we can manage our strings. So that is generally data binding expression. So binding expression can be defined in this way, right? Data binding expressions are configured by using backticks. Actually, this is used for designing good templates. Okay. So here we are creating a simple login screen. We are designing a simple login screen. In that login, the controls titles will be changing. For example, we want a login screen in such a way that one should be for admin login, another for manager login, like that. And if it is admin login, he will log in with email. If it is manager login, he will log in with mobile. Then how do we create one login which can change? How we can do which can change? Right? So what we will do now here, we will put a login. By using a backtick, we will design. In the backticks, we will create a string. In that string, we can have all the markup. We can design all the markup. In that, what we want to change title and the login control we want to change. So what we will do here is see, we will take title from a prompt. Already we learned prompt. So enter title. Okay. After that, so login type. So again prompt, enter type, enter element type. Element type means, is it a text box? Is it a password? Is it a email, like that? So I will give hint here, like it is text or it is email or it is password, like that. Okay. After that, we have title login type. After that, we will have login button. Login button prompt. We will give the option enter button text. Button text, like this we define. Now we will create a login. In this login, we are using a heading. But this heading title is not standard. The title will be changing according to what title you entered. So title will come from this location. Title is going to come from this variable. Then how to put that variable here? We have to put a binding expression and title. That's it. We need to define in this way. Now, after that, I'm adding a data list. Already we know HTML data list, data term, and we define username and data definition. We have input type. Now here, very important is login type. What should be the type? Username, it should be like a text. That means this input type is equal to, this also changes. What it is, login type. Not standard. We can change this title also. This also we can change. That means what we will do here, I will give another prompt. So where this is a login label prompt and enter label. What is the label is? Label we will print here. So we will print the label here. Again, binding expression, what it is, login label. Login label and login type. Okay, next we have a button. I am adding a button. This button text also comes from login button. Login button, it will come. All are dynamic now. Now I need to print this login. Then document.write, I have to print the login. Now see first what it will ask. So it will ask enter title. I will give admin login. Okay. Enter label, email, right? And enter element type. Element type is what? Email. And button text. Button text is login. And you see login screen is created with our details. That means it is not a standard login now. It will be changing. That means what is the input type here? The input type is emails. For example, I want anybody to log in with password. Then what we will do? Let's refresh this. It is asking enter title. I will say customer login. After that, label. Label is what? I want label password. Next, input type. Input type is what? Password. Button. Button as continue. And you can see it will give that. Now this is a password. That means the screen will change automatically according to requirements. How do we create such dynamic presentations? So with double quote, designing such dynamic presentation is very risky. It's not impossible. It will take a lot of time. But now with backtick, we can easily implement that. By using backtick, we can simply implement. Because by using backtick, you can create a template. In that, wherever you want, you can add binding values, dynamic values. Actually, this is called data binding. Data binding means accessing data from a dynamic place and attaching to UI. Actually, if I have to do that with general double quote or single quote, it takes lot of time. Why? Because in double quote, single quote, we have to use concatenation. Plus before, plus after. Just now you saw the string what we tried. Backtick makes everything simple. In the modern JavaScript, developers always majority use backticks. So we don't prefer much of single and double quote, especially if we want to present some dynamic expressions. We simply use backticks these days very much. So this is the new thing you need to know about strings in JavaScript. So this is another example for that. So dynamic login I am creating here. This is example. Here dynamically we are taking title, we are taking the label, we are taking the input type, and we are taking the button text. And that we are displaying dynamically and showing them. So in JavaScript, strings can be defined in how many ways? 3. Single, double, and backtick. What is the difference? Single and double quotes are used for inner and outer strings. They don't allow binding expression. Expressions are allowed only in backtick. So that is actually string. While working with strings, several more points are there. So while working with string, another important point is generally when you are dealing with the strings, next important point here is, so several characters in a string, so are not printable, they are not printable. So that means so many characters in a string are not printable. They don't print. Why they don't print? Because actually those characters are already having some other purpose. If those characters are having some other purpose in compiling system, those characters, it cannot print. That means one of the main problem with string you will face is you will type a string, but sometimes it will not present in the same way. Why? You see now, I will show here. Suppose I am writing path. In that path, I am defining d:/, suppose images / some image, some pic.jpg like this. Now I am trying to print it. Document.write path equal to whatever the path is defined. Now I will run this and see. And you can see that the path is not in the same way how we are expecting. It is not in the same way how we are expecting. Why? Because in the path, we have a slash. And this slash is not printable. Then it is not printed here. Then you may think you written correct path, but it will go wrong. It will not work. Because several characters in a string, they can't print. Why they can't print? Because already those characters have a specific function in the compiling system. That means compiler may be using those characters for a different reason. And those characters, if you try to write again, then compiler will ignore them. Then you cannot print them. Then how to print non-printable characters? So non-printable characters in a string are printed by using slash. We have to use slash. So by using slash, actually, so it is an escape sequence character. It is an escape sequence character. So several characters escape printing. When they escape printing, we have to print them forcibly. How we can do that? By using this. Already we learnt about this. Where we learnt about that? while learning about patterns, I told you. In HTML, when we discussed about patterns, there I told you how to convert a meta character into normal character. How to convert a normal character into meta character. There we have used this slash. That means now see here how it works. If any character is not printing, that means it is unable to print this slash. If it is unable to print, just use a slash there. It will work. If any character is not printing, before that character put a slash. That means here I will put another slash and you can see that now it is able to print those characters. Now don't think that double slash is to print one slash. It's not the concept like that. The concept is if any character is escaping, then you have to print by using what? Slash. It is not only that. For example, I am using a double quote. My intention is to print that double quote, but it cannot print. Then what we have to do? Before the double quote, we have to put a slash. And before this, we have to put a slash. We need to keep a slash. And you can see that it is able to print that. It is able to print. So if any character is not printable, you can print it by using a slash. That is what actually escape sequence is. Escape sequence. So how we can use the escape sequence? By using the slash. Example is this. Suppose syntactically first I will give. So where path is equal to d:/ images / some pic .jpg. That's how we write. So document.write and we will print the path. If we don't use that double slash, then it is unable to print that slash. So that is string. That means how do we write a string and how do we display a string and what are the issues? So in latest interviews, one new question regularly asked is, what is the data binding expression in JavaScript? JavaScript data binding expression is $ and the curly brace. What is the purpose of the data binding expression? The purpose of data binding expression is to bind the dynamic value to a string. So can we bind in every string? No, not possible. You can bind only when the string is defined in backtick. If the string is defined in other double quotes or single quotes, it's not possible. Only with the string backtick, you can use binding expression, right? Next, important, you have to understand how to format. So JavaScript string methods. You need to know about JavaScript string methods. Actually, JavaScript provides several properties and methods. Properties and methods that are used to format and manipulate a string. So JavaScript is going to provide a lot of properties and methods. These properties and methods are used to format and manipulate the string. We can format the string and manipulate the string. String formatting and string manipulation is done by several string methods. Actually, presenting a string requires lot of options. So many things are required. For example, I will categorize them. We have string formatting methods. For string formatting, so many methods are present. Like, what are the string formatting methods is? We have string formatting method like bold, like italic. So we have underline. So this is a strike. We have superscript. We have subscript. So we have font color. We have font size. These are string formatting methods. We have two uppercase and you have two lowercase. Lowercase, all these are string formatting methods. So string formatting methods, these are all the important methods used to modify the string. Modify the string in the appearance, we can modify that. Bold, italic, strikeout, superscript, subscript, font color, font size, two uppercase, two lowercase. These are all string formatting. Generally, why we need to format a string? Dynamically, we need to format a string because, for example, you entered some details and the details are wrong. Then we want to display a message, but it should be in red color. If details are correct, then we want to display another message where color will be green. How you will change the color of a string dynamically? String is same, but its color must be changing according to situation. When it is invalid, red color. When it is valid, green color. We have to format the strings dynamically. That is possible by using this. Like bold, like italic, like font color, size, everything you can control by using these options. For example, see how we can handle that. Suppose we are adding a simple page. Now I am adding your name, data list, some data term, some username, and data definition. Input type is equal to text. Now here we will put a message ID as username. Now the point is, I will put a placeholder like name in block letters. This is nothing but username must be in capital letters only. It must be in capital letters. If user is not typing capital letter, then I should convert them. You see several websites, they give application forms. In that application form, they will say that type everything in capital letters. Even you don't type everything in capital letter, what will happen? It will convert to capital letters. So it is going to convert that into capital letter. So how it can change itself dynamically? How it can change dynamically? That is by using these functions. For example, see now. Situation you can decide. Situation means when you want to change. While typing every character you want to change, or after typing all the characters you want to change. Which one you want? We can write the suitable events. Actually, for text box, if I click inside text box, that means I clicked inside the text box, then this is called focus. So I clicked inside the text box. That means we are trying to type something inside it. Then it is called focus. I finished typing and clicked outside the text box. That That is called as blur. We have focus and we have blur. Or we can use key up. We can use key up. Key up means immediately after you released the key. That means how you want to convert into capital letters. For every character, do you want capital letter immediately? Or after typing all the letters, convert to capital letter? That you decide. For example, we will use blur. Blur means what? After you finish it typing and you click outside, then it should be converted to capital letters. So what is the condition here? Condition is user clicks inside and types some username. After he finished typing, when he finish means click outside, then this must be converted into capital letters. So how do we format any string dynamically? To format a string dynamically, we can simply use this technique. What is it? See. Now for this text box, we will write an event on blur. On blur. Till now you have seen on click. You have seen on load. On load. And you have seen on change. Yesterday we used change in a, that means for sliders. We used on change. So on blur indicates when the text box loses the focus. So here we will say change case. That is the function to fire up. Now we will write a script here. So the script and function is what? Change case. In that first we have to collect the username entered in text box. Document dot get element by ID username dot value. It is the text box value. Where to apply this username? Where to apply this username? This username must be applied in the same text box again. From which text box you are reading, in the same text box you need to apply. So document get element by ID username dot value. That means same text box value should be username. That means what value you entered in text box, it is collected and the same value is assigned to same text box again. Why you are doing that? We are reading some value from text box and assigning to same text box. Why you need that? We are reading value from text box and assigning to the same text box. But this time, this username string must be converted to uppercase. It is converted to 2 uppercase. So 2 uppercase is a string formatting function. It is going to convert the string into uppercase and it is going to apply. That is formatting. Now you see here, we clicked inside. We are typing some name. After we finished, click outside, then it is capital. So you entered any name here. It is normal. You click outside, then it is converted to capital. So you click inside, suppose some name and click outside, that is capital. That is called as what? Blur. Blur means when element loses the focus. Right? When element loses the focus, it is called blur. That is what? Blur. Now here, what important is, if I want, you can write on, instead of blur, we can write on key up. On key up you can write. On key up means if I click inside and start typing, for every character it will be changed. If you want to change for every character immediately when it is released, then what you can do, you can define key up. So we will let all the content to finish. Then we will use what? On blur. So that is how we can define. This is just option we entered. Next important, not only that, suppose user is not entering name. Without entering name, he clicked outside. So without, that means they click inside, without entering name, they click outside. Then without entering name, if they click outside, then it should show me a warning saying that name required. I want to display some message. So where to display the message must be displayed in a data definition below. For this data definition, we will give ID. ID is what? Suppose error. So there we want to display. So see here, we are writing a condition. Condition is, so before we convert, condition is if username is equal to empty. Username is equal to empty. Empty quotation indicates there is no username. If username is empty, then document dot get element by ID. What it is? Error. Error dot inner HTML. We want to display some string. String is username required. And this string must be in red color. Then how to apply a color dynamically? Just you can add dot font color. Which color? Some red. I want it bold. Then we can add bold. I want it italics. We can add italics. So we can add multiple formats to that particular and we can define. Now you see here when I am typing, otherwise else, if it is not empty, then whatever entered, it must be converted to uppercase. That's what we need to do. So here, user click inside, without typing anything, click outside, then it should show that message. That message is now in red color and it is displayed in bold italics. We are formatting the string. And important, one more, when they entered, then immediately it should disappear. Then here, if it is not, then what should happen? Document dot get element by ID, error. So error dot inner HTML is empty. We will keep error inner HTML empty. That means you click inside without typing, click outside. And you started typing inside. Now it should be defined. Now you can see, now it is gone. When that message will be displayed, if there is no information typed inside it, then that message will be displayed. You typed something and after that it is finished, then it will disappear. While typing itself, it should disappear. Then you can use just that option. What is it? Key up. We can use key up or we can use on blur. On blur means element loses the focus. This is formatting the string. You can see we can apply the format dynamically. For example, suppose I want to create one simple option. Means how do we format the string? A simple option. Formatting the string means bold, green, red. Means what are the options? We have font size. We have font color. We have font styles. So we have two uppercase, two lowercase. We can apply these options, right? But we cannot apply all formats using these methods. I will show another example. We cannot apply all formats using this. For example, few things we can apply. I want to change the color. I want to change the size. We can do that. Let's do. So what we will do, we will create another example. Okay. So we have a string demo. String demo1.html. Okay. In this string demo, I'm adding a simple design. So we have data list, data term. So select color. And here data definition. I'm using input type is equal to color. You remembered we have a input type color. I will use an ID as some color, txt color. Okay. How to get which color they selected? That means when they are changing the color, I want to get that. Right? Let's see. We will write an event. What is that? On change. Because color is a picker. Na? In picker, user can select a color. So on change, we will write color change. Color change. And you can see we will write a function here, script. So function is what? Color change. On color change, we want to get the value where color is equal to document dot get element by ID. What is it? txt color dot value. It will get the color value what they selected. First, temporarily, I will log it, console.log color, so that I can see what it is returning. I told you now, as a developer, what we do first, we will test everything, value coming. Directly, blindly, we don't implement. Majority of the times we use console methods. First, we will test values correctly coming or not. Is it working or not? So here I will run this now. Let's run this. And in this now, here, let's go to the console. In the inspect console, in the console, so let's go to the console. In the console, we are defining here. In the console, select color and choose a color. The color code will come here. Already we know that it is an 6-character hexadecimal code. I told you colors. Na? Now what should happen is this color must be applied to a heading here. We have a heading, align center, and it is having some sample text. To this heading, I want to apply. That means when user chooses a color, that color should be applied to that heading. The color name is coming, but that color must be applied to that heading. Then how we can do? Simple. We have to write the event. What is it? Color change. We have to apply this color to heading. Same document dot get element by ID. So not element ID. It is a query selector. Na? We will use a query selector. Query selector H2 inner HTML. Inside that, I will type some text. Welcome to JavaScript. That is the text we will apply. So this is empty as of now. The text will be decided while typing itself, right? Now you see here, welcome to JavaScript. And to that welcome to JavaScript, I need to apply dot font color. Color. From where the color name is coming. Color name is coming from color. Color contains the color name. That means the color value. I'm just passing that value there. That means what happens now here is user selects a color and finish. That will come. User can choose a color and define a different name, different color, and that color will be applied there. It will be applied here. That means we can choose the colors for the elements dynamically and we can define. For example, I want to adjust its size. For example, you learned already. So here I will use another data term, font size. And the data definition, we will put a select have an option. So 1 and the option we have like 2 and we have option like 3. We have like 4 like this. Actually, these are levels. How many levels color size can be given? We learned font size, na? How many levels? Up to 7 levels we can apply. Now what we will do is for this drop down, we will say ID as font size. And we will say size change, on change. On change is equal to size change. On size change, we have to collect the value and apply as text. That means what we have to do, we need to define function. So function, and function is what? Size change. Function and size change. And for size change, what we have to do? First, we have to collect the size. Document get element by ID. What is it? Font size. Font size dot what? Value. Apply this to heading. Document dot query selector heading. Dot inner HTML. So we are using dot inner HTML is equal to, we have to apply welcome to which one? JavaScript. Here we need to apply font size coming from size. That's what we are defining. What will happen here is we can select the font that is applied. I will click the font size and 5, then it should apply that font size there. So color, we are applying the color here for the text. And we are applying the font size here that will apply. Because actually I given heading, better don't give a heading. You put in a paragraph. Why? Because heading already have certain font size. So I applied the size, then it will display. We can change gradually the font size and we can apply it. So what's the font size? How we want to display. So dynamically, we can control the appearance. This is done by using string formatting methods. These are string formatting methods. But what is the drawback of these methods is, by using these methods, we cannot apply all types of formats. By using these methods, we cannot apply all types of formats. That means suppose I want border. How? I want border, I want background color. I want to apply different appearance, which is not possible to format all by using string formatting methods. Then HTML people, while designing with JavaScript, they have to learn other techniques also. That means how we can apply formats. There is another technique by using style binding. By using style binding, we can apply the formats. Style binding is nothing but, style binding means what? You can apply CSS styles to any string in HTML. You can apply CSS styles to any string in HTML page. So actually styles are dynamically configured. They are dynamically configured. You can add all your CSS attributes. So everything is not possible with the font. Font color, font size, everything is not possible. So what we have to do, lot of effects we need to apply by using styles. Suppose what we want is, if user is not entering username, that username text box should be red color. So what we are doing here is we are displaying, see, in this example, previous example, right? In previous example, if user is not entering anything, so let's run this and see. Here you see, you click inside and user is not typing anything, and click outside. The text box also should turn to red. Then how? How you can format? By using methods, we have only font color, we have only size, we have only superscript, subscript, but we don't have border, shadows and all. Then what we have to do, we have to apply by using styles. But what is the point? Generally, styles we can apply through CSS. But when you apply styles through CSS, they are static styles. Means every time it will appear same. But according to situation, they should change. That means when it is valid, it should apply one color. Invalid, it should apply another color. Then how do we manage that? Usually what we do is to manage that. So you can define CSS style attributes. You can define the CSS style attributes by using, we can define the CSS style attributes by using what you can use for them. So by using dynamic style property of JavaScript. Dynamic style property of script. Here, very important is, so every style CSS attribute, every CSS attribute is written in camel case. Here we have to write in camel case. That's very important. For example, in CSS, how to apply text alignment. We have text align. So this is what CSS attribute. In JavaScript property, how to write it? In JavaScript, you want to apply text align, then you have to write text align like this. No hyphens. We have to use camel case. If you miss that, they don't work. Suppose I want to apply background color. How do we apply background color? We need to apply like that. So I want to apply font size. Here we need to write font size like this. So suppose if it is color, what we have to do? C small o capital R? No, it is color only, normal only. When to use camel case? When it splits with some separator. When it is divided with some separator, then we use camel case. Otherwise, normal lowercase only. So what is advantage of the style binding? The advantage of style binding is you can apply the styles additional to what is provided by JavaScript string formatting. JavaScript string formatting methods are limited. They cannot change everything, but others we can control by using this. So then how to write? Actually, we need to write like this. So element dot style dot attribute name is equal to value. Like this, we have to define. So element, style, attribute name, and value. So that is the style attribute. Now let's see how we can apply. So which element we want to apply? We want to apply to this text box. So to this text box, we want to apply. Then how to get the text box? So we can declare a separate variable and we can do that, right? I will use one simple technique here. What is that? I will delete all this logic and all. Just we need to turn it right. So here what we are doing on blur change case, here we will write a condition. If first where this is name text box, document get element by ID, what it is? User name. That is the name text box. And we will write a condition. If name text box is dot value, means text box value, is equal to empty. If name text box value is empty, then what should happen? Name text box, for that we have to apply style. In that style, I want to apply border. What is the border? So it should be 2 pixel solid red color border we want to apply. Similarly, name text box dot style. So dot box shadow. Box shadow means we have to write like this. It should be like 2 pixel, 2 pixel, 2 pixel. So we have red. Like this we need to apply. Right? That means we are applying the box shadow. This is styles. Otherwise, if it is not empty, name text box dot style dot border is equal to, it is 2 pixel solid green color. Otherwise, name text box dot style dot box shadow is equal to 2 pixel, 2 pixel and 2 pixel and green. That's how we need to apply. Now what happens here? You click inside the text box without typing anything, click outside, then it is red. You click inside and you type something into it, so some name, and click outside, then it is green. You are not typing anything and it will be red. That dynamically we do. These days we don't use much messages and all. So because these days, see, our formats also very much change. The way of approach, people using internet. Because early days there were limited access to web. Very few people know internet and there are limited websites. Then people have to follow all the rules of website. Suppose, have you created email account? Right? You created email account. So when you created your email account by yourself, right? Yourself, you created an email account. How many fields you may have filled? While creating email account, how many fields you may have filled? 4, 5, 6 fields, right? Why? Because these days everybody wants single step registration. That is very common in websites these days. Single step registration means in one step registration should finish. Actually, earlier in the beginning of emails, when emails were there in the beginning, I remember first when internet came, Yahoo was there before Google. We don't have Google. So before Google, so we used to use Yahoo mails, MSN mails, Yahoo mails, Hotmail. These are very popular at that time. Beginning, you may not know about them. Actually, when internet first came, and when we have to register a email account, in that email application form, it will be like a passport or visa form. Email form will be like a passport or visa form with 20, 30 fields, lot of check boxes, radios. That means we need to spend at least 10, 15 minutes time to fill email form. These days, if anybody sends like that, nobody visits their website second time. Because we don't want. These days, people don't want any registration also. They simply say that I don't want to register, log in with my Gmail account, log in with my Facebook account, right? Now, in such cases, errors also changed. We will not display a lot of messages on screen. We will just show everything through colors. That means these days websites when we are using on mobile and all, they don't show everything. They don't show everything using messages. They will show everything using colors. That means a red color came, then means invalid. They will not show lengthy message. And if you want to read the message, because by seeing that itself, we can understand, okay, it requires some name. If you are still not able to understand, then what we will do, we will help you. Just we will put a star mark here. And when mouse is over, we will show a tip saying that for this, these details are required. So most of the situation is formatting according to the situation dynamically. That means dynamically the appearance should change. For general strings, we can apply string methods, right? If there is complex, then you have to use others. That means others means because text string formatting have what options? String formatting have options like what? Font color, font size, bold, italic. They are not enough every time. Then we have to take help of styles. But applying through styles is also very risky, because if lot of styles need to be applied, writing them is very lengthy. Then you can use another technique. What is the technique is, this is example of which one? This is the example of style binding. You can do one more technique. Instead of style binding, what you can do is you can use class binding. Class binding means you can apply a CSS class dynamically. What is the advantage of that? In one CSS class, lot of effects will be there. Currently, to give border and shadow, 2 times I have to write. Am I right? So 2 times I have to write. Like this, 2 times I have to write. What is the simple way? Instead of writing 2 times, what is the simple way? Simple way is nothing but we will put a style. In the style, we will put here, so 2 classes. One class is dot valid. In that valid class, we will put border as 2 pixel solid red color. Box shadow 2 pixel, 2 pixel and 2 pixel and red color. This is valid, invalid. I will give this as which one? Invalid class. I am adding a valid class. Invalid class, what we have to define? Border. So in the border, what we need to define? We need to add other effects. 1 second. Takes. Border for valid, we have to give 2 pixel. Solid, which color? Green. Box shadow, 2 pixel and green. Now how to apply these classes to this box? We don't need to write all these styles now, because all styles are kept in one class. So what we have to do, if it is having a value, not having a value, then name text box should have class name. Generally, to apply a CSS class, we have to use the word class. But class we cannot use because class is already a word used in OOP concepts in JavaScript. It is a keyword. So we have to use another word. What is it? Class name. Which class name to apply? If it is empty, which class name to apply? Invalid. That is the class name. You can apply multiple classes. And if it is valid, which class name? Name text box dot what? Class name. Class name is what? Valid. Now this will be fine. Now you can see I click inside and outside, that is red. I'm entering some name and click, that is same. So we can configure and define the same by using class. So what is class binding? Class binding is nothing but you can apply a CSS class to HTML element by using class name attribute. We can define class name attribute. Syntactically, we have to use element dot what? Class name is equal to some class 1, class 2. You know, CSS classes, you can apply multiple CSS classes with space. We can define multiple CSS classes with space. You can define like this. Right? So that is what actually class binding is. Generally, we can define so many complex things by using this class binding technique. For example, let's create one simple screen so that you can easily handle it. I will give the same example, but this time we are dealing with which option? Class binding. Let's create one simple screen. How generally people use this, right? How we can apply the classes dynamically. So in how many ways we can apply the formats? 3. One is by using string methods. Our string methods are not enough every time. More formats you can apply by using style. But if there are multiple styles, it will take long. Then better we can go with class. Now see one simple option here. Suppose we are designing a login screen here, login.html. Actually, so this is having a page, link relation style sheet. Style sheet and href is what? Node modules, bootstrap, dist, CSS. So bootstrap.css. Okay. And we will link relation is style sheet and href. This is node modules, bootstrap icons, font and icons.css. And we will apply container fluid. And in this, what we will do, we will apply here simple options. We have deflex and justify content center, align items center, right? And style height is some 500 pixel. And in this we have a div and we have a heading. So this is a span. So class bi person. So we have defined that, and we are adding some user login. And we will keep a data list with a data term. So username and data definition input type is text. For this, we have class form control, and we have another data term password, and data definition input type is equal to password. And what is the class form control? And we have a button. So class btn dark w100. And this is login. And at the top, I will add another div. So class as margin top 3, margin bottom 4. And we will put input type is equal to checkbox. And dark theme like this I defined. And here we are adding, this is form switch, and we are defining class as form check input. Form check input. And you can see that. So this is the login screen we are having. Now what we need to do here. So this div is having a class border and border dark, and we have border 2 padding 3. So this is enough. Oh yeah, this is the option. Now what should happen is when I open this dark theme, it should change entire form to black. It should change everything into black. That means what we have to do. So we need to define the style based on this checkbox. Checkbox have an ID. What is that ID? Theme. Now we will access that checkbox on change. On change is nothing but theme change. So let's write a script here. So what is the script? Function. Function is theme change. First, we have to access checkbox. So document get element by ID. What is it? Theme. That is a checkbox. We will write here one more option here. What it is? This is a div which is having all this. For this div, we will put an ID as form. Okay. Now we will access that form also, where form document dot get element by ID. What it is? Form. Form is the div where everything is present. Now we will write here if checkbox dot checked. That means if it is selected. If checkbox is selected, then what should happen? If checkbox is checked, what should happen? Simple. Form dot class name. To the form we need to apply. We don't need to write a class. We have ready-made classes now. Ready-made bootstrap classes are there. We will apply them. PG dark, text white. These are ready-made classes. We will apply padding 3. How much? Yeah, padding 3. So, or just this class I am applying here. And you can see now, when I select this, it should change. It should apply borders and other effects also. Then what we have to do? We need to write border. We need to write border dark. We need to write border 2, padding 3. All these must be applied. Now you can see when I turn on, it will be in this way. Now what should happen for this button? Button should turn opposite. Again, it is normal. Na? Then what we have to do? Else, if it is not checked, what is it? Form dot what? Class name. Which class we need to apply? We need to just apply border and border dark and border 2 and padding 3. Others not required. And you can see now, I turn on this, it will change. Again, turn off, it will be normal. You can change the appearance dynamically. And very important is, I want to change the color of button. Of course, you can change how to access button. Document dot query selector. Query selector, what it is? Button. Currently, we have only one button. That is enough. Then what we have to do, if it is checked, button also will have a class name. What is the class name? So BTN light. We will use BTN light. Otherwise, it will have button dot class name. It will display what it is, BTN and BTN what? Dark, right? And W100 is required everywhere. So I will use W100 also. Now you can see it, dark theme button will be white and the light theme button will be dark. You can apply effects for anyone. This is dynamically changing the appearance of anything. That is what we call as what? Class binding. So have we written all these classes? We are not writing all these classes. All those classes are already available. Just we have to apply. We have to apply. Why they are already available? Because we are using from Bootstrap. Bootstrap CSS already have them, right? So in how many ways you can format any content in page? 3. By using string formatting functions, by using style binding, by using class. This is only formatting. We have manipulation of string. String manipulation means finding whether a character is present or not, finding how much length it is, replacing the characters. All this is called string manipulation. String manipulation related some functions are there that we will see in next session. Tomorrow we will discuss. In tomorrow's session, we will learn about how to manipulate a string, right? That is very important for validations. Okay, right.